Kelly O'Brien leans into the hearse that holds her 12-year-old daughter's coffin to give it one last hug farewell. So overcome with grief, she can hardly stand. Her partner Matt holds her upright. The O'Briens asked us to be here today to remember Charlotte and raise awareness of the enormous damage that bullying can bring.
I will miss everything about you, baby. I will miss your hugs, your kisses, your laugh, your beautiful, beautiful smile.
Charlotte took her life almost 3 weeks ago after years of relentless torment at school.
Everything we did together, we had fun. Whether it was a trip to the shops or the park. You are my world, my life, my queen bee diva, my beauty queen. The star on top of the Christmas tree.
She loved to be loved, and we love to love her back. Thank you for giving me the greatest honour to be your dad.
Mary Immaculate Church congregation at capacity and beyond able to cope with the grief themselves. But it was nothing compared with Kelly's pain.
I'll never be okay without you. Not even for a day.
At one stage, Kelly ran in to hold the coffin again. She called Charlotte her best friend and soulmate, a mini mum to brother Will.
I've already seen this before, and every time I see it, it always, that's a lot. Yeah.
Memories.
Yeah, that's some real grief, man. That's some real grief, and I pray that none of you ever have to go through that. If you ever loved little ones, just the thought of them being taken away or something like that tragic happening is just unimaginable grief. And, you know, whenever I think about that line, I think it's from Denzel Washington when his child's in the hospital. And he says, I'm going to bury my child. My child's not going to bury me. There's a certain order to the word that you never want breaking. And just to know that the kid they were so miserable on the inside, or maybe it wasn't even like that. Maybe it was a flash moment where they just had an intense feeling, because that happens, and they just went through with it. It's just, you know, she went through it for years. And I think no kid should have to do that. So if I can encourage parents to be more accountable, to take this thing seriously, to not sweep it onto the rug, then I'll do that every day. Because I know the kids who do this stuff, most of them are never held accountable. They're not. I would rather die before this is ever me.
This lovely lady is my 10-year-old daughter, who has, for the second time this school year, been kicked off the school bus due to bullying another student.
An Ohio father takes a rather unique approach to punishing his daughter after she was kicked off the school bus for bullying, and it has a lot of people talking.
A lot of people talking? If I see a bunch of y'all defending the daughter.
NBC4's Dan Perlman went to Swanton, Ohio today to talk with the father and the daughter as this video goes viral.
This is a story we have sadly heard before, a young girl bullying another, but it is what happened next that is getting attention around the world. It started last week. His daughter got home.
And she looked at me and she said, well, Dad, you're going to have to take me to school next week. I got kicked off the bus.
Matt Cox's 10-year-old in trouble for bullying.
So I decided that I'm not going to be one of those parents that just sweep it under the rug and chalk it up as kids will be kids.
Thank you. Yes. And I will repeat this message 1,000 times a year. Every parent who does this, salute to you. Because too many parents more concerned with protecting their kids, not realizing the kids is making it hard for other parents to protect their own.
Oh my God! But you don't have to shame publicly your kid. Your kid was publicly dissing my kid, or dissing that kid. They were making fun publicly. It was not intimate. It was not a one-on-one. It was on the school bus.
Yep.
So you know what? I don't care.
Yep.
That kid could get it. Just learn. That's how you learn a lesson. Oh my God, you're so old. Yes, I'm old school. But that's what shit like that will happen if I will fuck up. You have to understand the definition of what a privilege is. And that school bus is a privilege. And if you fuck up the rules of the school bus, That's what's gonna happen in real life. If you cannot stand within the rules, they're gonna remove your privileges.
You have no right to that bus if you make it unsafe for others. You lose that. Period. And you guys have no problem with mothers or fathers crying on television or crying online about the fact that their kids were taken. The tears and the sadness, all of it's okay. But what we're doing about this issue that's everywhere, that we can't put publicly. Absolutely not. Parents should definitely talk about this stuff. They should handle it.
I don't care. That's exactly how you handle business.
Yep.
You're gonna do, and on top of that, I just hear my Haitian parents. La kounya la, vous même ou décidé ou pas faire rien nan boss lan. La kounya la, yo meto ou dehors. La kounya, moi-même, m'a travail, m'a dormi bien tard, pour me lever bien bonne heure, pour m'aller poto ou l'école. Parce que ou même, sont mal élevés ou pas qu'on vivre dans la société. I understand that.
She had the temerity.
Yes.
To return home and say, oh,
well, Dad, you're going to have to take me. Oh! You're going to have to take yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? The dad didn't just send her off. He drove beside her because this is not a safe place to walk. So he said, I'm going to drive right beside you and I'm going to make sure you're safe.
But you walking.
But you walking.
But you walking.
With all your bags, your lunch, and everything. You're going to eat. I may try to pack a little bit extra electrolytes for all that extra cardio you're getting in.
That begins the story.
Good morning and happy Monday, everyone.
Behind this now viral video.
Well, it's a happy Monday for some of us.
The video Matt shot it. It's his daughter walking to school 5 miles to learn a lesson.
Let me make this extremely clear. It's unacceptable.
Back home,
I believe the last time I checked it was like 15 million views.
the feedback for this Swanton father overwhelming. He tells me he read to all 3 of his children the comments online. Stories from those.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Stories young Kirsten tells me taught her a lesson.
I shouldn't have put her anymore.
This is a video still making the rounds.
Because I'm doing what I feel is right to teach my daughter a lesson.
A video this father hopes parents
Hold your kids accountable.
and their kids both see.
I was just hoping that they'd take away that words hurt, you know?
Yeah.
5 miles is 8.5 kilometers. But yeah,
there's nothing that hurts more than words. When your parent looks at you and says, you disappoint me, bro, I'd have taken 10 punches before I hear them words. I'm ashamed of you. That shit'll cut deeper than anything, and that'll be trauma you carry for the rest of your life. I'd rather you knock my ass out. Absolutely. Yeah, when you've always had your parents' admiration and love, and they look at you with that sense of disgust or failure, there's nothing that cuts deep. So if you understand that, then how can you not think that bullying can't really affect you? Do you know how much kids are impacted by their peers? Most of us remember the kids that try to mess with us at one point in our lives or said a mean comment to us that changed the way we dressed forever or the way we looked. That's normal. Of course these things hurt. So shout out to this father. Because he sees a problem and he takes it seriously. And he's trying to create an upstanding person. He's not just trying to raise a child. He's trying to also make sure that they're a contributing member to society, not a net detriment. That's the difference.
This is the thing. Our standards are so low that you're saying he's not trying to raise a child. He is trying to raise a child. That's what you're supposed to do. When you're raising a child, it's not a plant. You're not just supposed to water it and watch it grow.
Yep.
You have to put a tutor next to it so it doesn't grow crooked. Woo! Bars! And bullying sometimes, bullying sometimes creates more bullying. That's one thing that people don't really talk about. Because at some point, when you're being bullied, you have the you want the spotlight to not be on you anymore. So you're gonna bully. I did that too. I bullied. And people don't really talk about why. Like my reason for was that I didn't want that spotlight anymore. If I join the people bullying, that's my break. It's not good, but it's not an excuse. It is bad. But then again, kids resort to different means sometimes. Sometimes they off themselves, sometimes they participate in the bullying, sometimes they fight back. If you don't think that you have a winning chance, you don't. And it goes to the parents. This just goes to the parents. Whenever someone tells you that someone was, I feel like right now we're a bit past that. People are a little bit more aware of the bullying, a little bit more aware. There's still some work to be done. But when someone comes to you and says that they're being bullied, you have to take them and you have to take their word for an account. Like the number of time I've been told, just ignore them. And it's always crazy because you don't understand how unfeasible that is. Since you can't just ignore someone that's constantly nagging you. We're a group of people. So, yeah. I feel like a big, huge hypocrite being like, oh, yeah, it's bad. I've done it. I had to take a fucking break. So, I wish I could talk to these people now and be saying that how sorry I am because I needed to take a break, man. It was either you or me, and I chose you. Anyways.
All right. Let's know what you guys think of the comments.